Halloween safety is the order of the day, and who better to bring into the KUM studios and to talk about what you and the little ones can do to stay safe than Sergeant Paul Tapao, our very good friend. Sarge, welcome back as always.
Hey, thank you. Thank you again for having me.
Okay, now you are not only an officer of the law, you're also a concerned neighbor. You're a good family man to cousins, godchildren, whatever like that. You're also a dad.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
when it comes to making sure that kids and parties and everything are safe and everything, you have to practice what you preach.
Absolutely. Last week we talked about being seen and being safe. Arming the kids with some reflective device that can help the motorists. And now we'll flip it to where the motorists and the responsibility. And we know that it's going to be busy. There's a holiday right after Halloween, and pretty much the hordes are going to come out, and people are going to be driving to and from. And it really is important that the motorists understand their roles and their responsibility. And the first thing we ask is pay attention to the road. Put the handheld devices down. Pull over to the side of the road, or when you feel safe, walking with the kids to take your pictures. Try not to communicate as much with the handheld devices and focus solely on the road, because there's going to be a lot of kids really that are not at that height level. And it's really important to understand that the height level between the hood of the vehicle and above is where you can see, which provides visibility. Anything below that, it becomes now of a challenge for the motorist, and you need to understand that time and distance is a factor. So, put the handheld devices down, pay attention to the road, and look out for those kids out there.
Okay, now when you and I were going to high school, because we're about the same age, I remember trick-or-treating would start no sooner than 8 p.m. and it would be on every single Guam neighborhood, cul-de-sac, village, and it was fantastic. These days, it's a little bit more distributed. You get a lot of people go up to Barragata Heights because that's a wonderful community. A lot of kids go to the mall, or they go to GPO, again, a shopping center, whatever. But one thing I've noticed, Sarge, is kids are starting to trick-or-treat like 4:30 in the afternoon now.
And that's the peak of the traffic. I said, there's a holiday the next day. So, we know that people are going to be out. And we know that people are going to be celebrating. And, this is a time where we see the heavy foot traffic. And this is a time where we see the traffic in itself, motor traffic, vehicles trying, people trying to get to that spot where they give out the best candies, and traffic, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be chaotic. So be patient, be courteous, and of course, respect the rules of the road, respect the pedestrians, respect the kids, and, just look out for them, because you play that vital part in ensuring their safety, the kids, and understanding that it's really their time to enjoy the night. And, as responsible adults, we ask them, don't drink and drive. There's a lot of adult festivities that are happening. Designated responsible sober driver. Now we have to ask people to be responsible when they indulge in recreational cannabis. So really, it's going to be dicey for us, and we just ask the community to understand the roles that they can play to ensure the safety for the kids.
Okay, I want to bring in a question that somebody actually sent to us. They DM'd it to us on Instagram, and they were saying, I would like to do something for my neighborhood because we don't have designated crosswalks or street lights, or crossing lights or anything like that. Somebody was saying, can I actually, buy like the Dayglow, the vest, and can I get like a couple flashlights, and can I actually direct traffic while the kids are like passing by and everything like that? Is the average citizen enabled to do that if they want to basically make their community more safe?
Unless you're properly trained. We train the school crossing guards.
Exactly.
We give them the proper training. So getting the proper training, and of course having the proper signage. You got to have signage to warn motorists of pedestrians crossing, or pedestrian cross guard in the area, and that's important. And you got to designate the crosswalk area. What we did in the village of Sinahanya was we reached out to the mayor. We asked the mayor to identify the street lamps that are not working. We asked the mayor to identify, as a community, we identified where the crosswalk paint that needs to be either refurbished or done over again. And we addressed that to the mayor. And this was part of our Neighborhood Watch initiative moving forward, because October is our fiesta, and October is a busy time for the village of Sinahanya. So, the proactive approach that the mayor took was he was able to get DPW out there, put some strips for the lane dividers, and identify the crosswalk signs. But you need proper signage. You need the cooperation of the Guam Police Department, and you need the cooperation of your mayor.
Okay, because I guess if you're trying to direct traffic and you're not properly trained and you make the wrong move or something like that, you could actually endanger the motorist now.
And yourself too. You can actually cause a crash. You can endanger because it's really you got to have proper training to do that. And Like I said, we avail our training and our expertise to the schools to assure the safety of the kids, because that's a big responsibility. When you're allowing a child to cross from one side of the street to the other side of the street, you got to make sure that traffic is stopped and that people understand what you're doing. And you can't just assume that everybody sees that you're holding up the stop sign and allow the pedestrians to go, because people get distracted. That's one of the issues we're dealing, other than impaired driving, is distracted driving.
Okay.
And it's important that they understand how they can actually play a part by putting the devices down during the Halloween celebration.
All right, well, I want to talk about chaperoning in just a sec, but what do we got for this week's Crime of the Week?
This week is the burglary that occurred at the Tumuni Post Office. So, we're reaching out to the community. We're working closely with the postmaster in this case. So if anybody has information, please submit the tip online at guamcrimestoppersweb.com.
Okay, and here is the information that you need to know.
On Monday, October 14, our officers from the Tumon Precinct Command entertained a burglary complaint at the Tumuni Post Office. Now, the preliminary police report suggests that around 4:40 in the morning, an employee from the post office arrived for work and immediately noted several mailboxes had been pried open. A further check was made where it had been noted that numerous mail packages had been opened and rummaged through. A further assessment was made where officers discovered that the main entrance to the post office had been pried and damaged. Now, the Guam Crime Stoppers is seeking the help from the community relative to this case. If you have any information about this case, please call the Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP or text 688-STOP. You can also visit our webpage at www.guam.crimestoppersweb.com or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615, 6 or 7. Guam Crime Stoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
All right, Sergeant, good information. We hope someone catches that criminal at that in a post office. That's incredible.
Federal property.
Exactly. That's feds. That's big time punishment. Okay, so before we go, I want to talk about chaperoning, right? What do you recommend as a man of the law when it comes to people supervising, on trick-or-treating night, like large groups of kids? Like what's the adult to kid ratio?
It varies. You can have responsible teens, 16, 17-year-olds that actually have the they have that trait, the responsible trait in them, that are able to supervise and they understand what they need to do. But 18 is the magic number. If you have teens, that young adults that really have that maturity and they have that sense of responsibility, then they can actually chaperone kids around. But having an adult, they're able to make those the decisions in the event of an emergency should happen. And a chaperone plays an important part, because here you have kids who are maybe separated from their parents. You are the direct link between the child and their parent, and of course providing any information. So as a parent, I'm reaching out to the parents and the chaperones. Plan what you're going to do. Talk to the kids about the routes you're going to take. Talk to the kids about not talking to strangers, not going into homes. That's really important. Not going into a home, getting invited into a home to get some of the candies and not getting to a vehicle. And always have an accountability check on the kids when you move to and from houses to make sure that all the parties stay together.
Okay, Sarge, we thank you as always for your insight.
Thank you, and be safe. Enjoy the Halloween festivities, and let's all do our part to assure the safety of the kids.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
That's Sergeant Paul Tapao, everybody, otherwise known as every October 31st, he dresses up like Iron Man. I know this for a fact, and we'll be back right after this.